A count speed, B count speed, C count speed, sound speed, time. As I get older, I start to understand the concept of time a bit more and more, even though I don't fully understand time, and I probably never will. Not probably, I won't ever fully understand the concept of time, but because I understand it more than I have ever have before, I've grown to appreciate my time and others much more than before, and it continues to grow, so on and so on and so on. Now, with that, I still fuck off some of my time quite often, but I've gotten much better with controlling that or having it down to a minimum. I admit, this isn't my first time recording this video about time. I actually recorded this a couple of weeks ago, then kind of decided to scrap it midway going through. And the reason being was I felt that my energy was going towards places I didn't want it to go towards because there were just things I had in my mind when it just came to people who perpetually abuse other folks' time. And I like to try to keep these as positive as possible. And it had seemed that what I was saying was directed at people in recent events when it wasn't true at all. These were just things that were just on my mind at the time, and a lot of it had to do with things in the past. However, just with the way things has been going in the industry lately, in my industry that I work in the film industry, there's some motherfuckers who's just been wilding when it just comes to other people's time. I don't want to talk about that. A few weeks back, I seen a friend post this meme on Instagram saying that artists should be working free projects. Correction, filmmakers should also be working free projects. And I couldn't disagree with that more. In fact, him and I, we talked about this and we both agreed. My thing is filmmakers should be working projects that are worth their time. Me personally, when I work a project, I think to myself, is this worth my time or not? Like, for example, this may seem simple, like what I'm shooting right now may seem simple to people when they're sitting back watching this. It's just me talking into 3 cameras. This takes a lot of my fucking time to do, but I enjoy it and it's worth it to me. When I'm editing these videos and watching back all the footage, I am recognizing that I am accomplishing what I wanted to do, which is being able to talk better in front of the fucking camera, getting it as close as possible to how I talk to people in real life. Actually, I want it to be better than I talk to people in real life. As I'm doing this, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be using my hand movements like this, but that's a whole different thing. Any fucking way. And so therefore it makes it worth it. Like the amount of time I have to put in if setting up all these damn cameras, doing all the lights, getting all the footage, editing it, and putting it back out there. And it's a quick turnaround. Sometimes when sometimes when I shoot these videos, the day I shoot it, I actually put it out. Other times I may put it out the next day, but it's not like I shoot a video and days later I put it out. And I am now trying to do it once a week, and like every Saturday I'm trying to put out one of these videos with the main objective again being better with talking in front of the camera, but also being consistent. Consistency is huge, as a lot of us know. If you're not consistent with something, then you're just gonna fail, especially when it comes to creating any kind of fucking content. A lot of people at times hit me up and want to collaborate on certain things. And the first thing that kind of comes to my mind with them is like, hey, can you be consistent? Of course, they're going to say yes, but it's, have you done something? Have you put out content of yourself consistently? Most of the times it's no, but in their minds, they think they can do it. But the likelihood of that actually happening is extremely fucking low because people don't think to themselves, can I put out content when I am not feeling my best? Can I work It's, can I push through when there's no fucking money involved? It is extremely fucking due to stay consistent at something when it's not fucking paying the bills. It's hard to put something out there where the people don't quite see your vision, where you're going yet, but you know where it's at and you know what it takes to get there, and to continuously put something out there without receiving whatever the fuck you may be looking for at first, without having like a clear objective. Because most people too, they don't have a clear objective of what they want to put out there and the reasoning why. It's very important for me anytime I put something out there is to know why am I doing it, because if I don't know why I'm doing it, I'm going to get fucking lost and I'm not going to continue on. Most people too, when they're thinking about creating something, they don't sit there and say to themselves, how much money am I willing to put up in this project? Not your budget. How much money are you willing to put up? And then work out budget and operate off of that. But again, that consistency part, that idea to come in, keep grinding it out, not just on the days that you're feeling good. Anybody can work on their passion projects when they're feeling great. It's like, but can you do it on the days that whatever love interest or partner you have is getting on your motherfucking nerves that day? Can you do it on the days that you're grieving? Can you do it on the days where when you're looking at the media and it's just really bringing you down because whatever the fuck they're talking about affects you personally? Can you do it when family members are going through tragedy? You still have to put your best foot forth with whatever you're creating. Can you do it on a day where we're depending on this equipment that you're using and something shuts down and you have to figure out how can I work around this piece of equipment that I needed to do this shoot that I can't replace, but I still want to put out what I want to put out. This is why there's 3 fucking cameras too, just in case one of these cameras go out. I know I have 2. 2 of the cameras go out. Well, I know all I need is 1 camera to shoot something and put it out. Don't got no fucking cameras? Fuck it, I got audio. But unfortunately, most people don't think that far ahead, especially when they haven't done it before. So it creates some complications. Now I'm at a point where if someone hasn't done something before and they ask me how to do something, I point them to YouTube, because I know the answers are right there in YouTube. And I know chances are if they're approaching me, they haven't bothered to do the research themselves yet. I recognize that, hey, at times they may not know yet that the questions that they have, they can figure out just by typing that question into a fucking Google search or going to YouTube. It's right there. And I oftentimes direct people there. And the funny thing that does happen is I will tell them, hey, just go there and you'll find the answers. I even tell them how to weave through the bullshit, because there's plenty of people on bullshit who's just talking bullshit. But most of the things that pop up in the first thumbnails of people talking will be the answer that people are looking for. But even when I tell them that, they won't even bother to go to YouTube. Instead, they'll just continue on to asking me questions to kind of make this a little bit universal, and so other people can understand what that sounds like to me. Imagine this. Imagine someone asks you how to bake a German chocolate cake, and you see that person has a cookbook that has the recipe to make a German chocolate cake, and you say, oh, just go to that cookbook and it's going to show you how to make a German chocolate cake. Then they look at that cookbook and then they look back to you, and the very next question they ask you is, how many eggs should I use? What are you going to think of that person? That's what I have to deal with often, and I'm not the only one. There's a lot of filmmakers I know out there who are dealing with the exact same thing constantly. I remember a few years ago, I asked my friend Patrick Lawler, I was like, hey, how do you deal with this? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people come to you with things that they should not be approaching you with. But you also do want to remain welcoming and help people out where you can. And hey, he said, people hit me up about shit all the time, all the time. He told me what you just have to do is set boundaries. And since then, I've been really working on how to set time boundaries for people because I want to be helpful to people. I want us all to work together to help each other get to where they want to get to, but I don't want it to come to a point where I can give so much and then there's nothing left for me because then I'm no good to no one. And if a motherfucker can't respect the boundaries that I set, then fuck them. I don't really care how they may feel about something. What I'm mainly talking about, those who I know don't know certain things and trying to help them out. There's a big difference between them and the people who know and like to pretend like they don't know and to intentionally try to fuck you over. A few weeks or a month or so back, somebody asked me if I can shoot the director commentary video for one of their projects here in this kind of setup. No money offered at all. That was a very easy thing for me to say to them, which is no. Fuck them. Time boundaries is something I still struggle with, but I am getting better at that. It's something that I feel all artists struggle with because I do feel the way a lot of filmmakers have it set up. A lot of filmmakers, especially freelance filmmakers, it's like the system it's broken. I feel anytime filmmakers are dealing with a client, that client should be paying you for your time. It should be looked at no differently from a lawyer. We all know when we're dealing with a lawyer, you email a lawyer, you're paying for it. You call a lawyer, you're paying for it. You text a lawyer, you're fucking paying for that because that is that lawyer's time that you are paying for. It is not the same in the film industry. We are constantly asked a plethora of questions about certain things that a person should be able to figure out on their own, but we are the ones who have to walk them through it, and at times it's for free. It never made sense to me in the music video world that people would make treatments for music videos, send them to record labels for free. I know the amount of time it takes to make a fucking music video treatment. And how much energy can go into that. And you just send it off to somebody for free and not be compensated for that time. And they can't like your music video treatment because I know several people this has happened to. They would take your music video treatment, not hire you, but hire someone else and use your music video treatment that you created. And you just have to take it. To me, that's working so fucking backwards. That's not even working backwards. That's just not working very smart. That's a waste of time and money. But yet we accept that as the standard. Right now we're dealing with the actors and writers strike. And a lot of things they're trying to correct certain stuff and then also trying to prevent future things from happening. But still, even if they get everything that they want, we will still return to a broken fucking system now. The great thing about unions is they do protect us a lot from time thieves, and people are being compensated for their time. But we know when you are a stickler for time and you try to set that boundary with certain producers, they will hold that against you. They will use that against you and probably not work with you in the future because you are a person who respects your fucking time. But they won't look at it that way. They will look at it as you're not being a team player. Now, there have definitely been times where I have not respected a person's time by not thinking things through. A while back, I was doing this show called PSC, Public School Education Game Show, whatever the fuck. But anyways, I had asked an acquaintance of mine, Malcolm MJ Harris, if he wanted to come on the show. No response. Then a few weeks later, he made this video saying, "Don't ask me to do shit for free." And he went on this rant. Now, I know he did not make that video for me. I don't even think I was even in mind when he made that video. However, I still reached out to him and apologized. Reason being because I know me asking did not help. And when I thought about it a little bit more and saw things from his perspective, it's like, having him come way out the way to do this thing that doesn't really add any value to what he was doing is not being mindful of his time, in which is being a bit disrespectful. That was not my intentions at all. I know he knew that, but I still reached out to him because on top of that, I knew that he had to be being approached by so many people and being pulled in so many different directions to make a video like that. And I was like, if I'm going through what I've been going through, there's no fucking doubt it's somebody like himself who has a large following is being approached with so much bullshit. So just to let him know, like, hey, I see you, I hear you, I have empathy towards you for what you're going through. Let me reach out and say this to you, in which was received very well to him. But it didn't matter to me if he received it well or not. I just wanted him to hear that. When it comes to being consistent, when it comes to being focused, when it comes to putting out things consistently, bringing that energy all the time, things can be draining. Especially people who you are close with I feel can drain the most out of you. You want to help them out, but it's like, hey, you're my people. Think this a little bit clear. Think this through a little bit more before you approach me with something. Is this something you can handle on your own, or does this actually add value to what I am doing, or does this take away from what I'm doing? Because that's a key thing right there, right? It's not always thinking about the value it may add. It's, hey, is this taken away from the thing I am trying to stay focused on? So our time is limited, and how we spend our time is very crucial. If you're like me, you probably agree that time is our most valuable currency. If time is our most valuable currency, then technically that makes everything transactional. When I say everything transactional, I'm not talking about those type of people who are always looking to split a bill down to the T or any stupid shit like that. No. I'm saying it like everything is transactional in the sense that if I agree to hang out with you and I'm giving you my time, I expect you to be giving me your time back by being present. Anytime I'm ever hanging out with somebody, I am present. I am there in the moment. If I am not receiving the same thing back, then it's like, okay, cool. That is not a person that's worth my damn time because I can't get this back. Yep. I still don't know how to end these videos. I think I will work on that. I probably won't because I don't think about the ending until I get to the end and then the video just ends.